This is the City of Westfield Building Corporation meeting on November the 22nd. Call for a quorum. Ron Moore.
Larry Clarino.
Steve Latour.
All board members present. Next, I'd like to bring up the minutes for 10/4/21. Those have been published and read, I hope. Are there any additions, questions, or deletions to those minutes?
Just one clarification that I received from Manny, so we'll make sure that the minutes properly reflect the election of officers occurred first and that the bylaws were also adopted.
Okay, we'll table that till we get a chance to have a copy of that.
Yes.
And we'll move forward. Next, we have the adoption of the conflict of interest policy that has been published and circulated so everyone could read it. Are there any questions concerning the conflict of interest rules and policy that we have? Hearing none, I'll make a motion that we accept and ratify the conflict of interest.
I'll second.
So seconded by Larry Clarino. Take a voice vote. Aye.
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 Unanimous voice vote to accept and adopt the, Now, we come to the authorization of third-party
Manny has a
designation. Question?
Mr. President, sorry, this is Manny. Because we're still under kind of the auspices of the governor's order, I actually do need a roll call on all of these, if you wouldn't mind.
Roll call? All right.
Yes, thank you.
Fair enough. We'll go back to the adoption of the conflict of interest. Roll call. Ron Moore, aye.
Larry Clarino, aye.
Steve Latour, aye.
Motion carried to adopt the conflict of interest policy. The next thing is the authorization of third-party designee resolution. I need some clarification on this. Which of these documents that have been previously sent to us are we referring to with this?
If this resolution is with respect to my actions, I've actually covered all of this in the resolution that was circulated.
Which resolution is that?
The one she's.
The resolution that we circulated last week, the resolutions of the Board of Directors of the City of Westfield Building Corporation regarding certain organizational matters. This would actually be covered under the actions you're taking in that resolution,
Okay.
which really is authorizing, ratifying, approving, and authorizing actions with respect to filing Form 1024A. So that's in connection with that. So in sum, everything is covered under the resolution that was circulated.
All right. Is that also reflected in item 4 of what we have here, the City of Westfield Building Corp resolution of the Board of Directors? Are those in and of the same?
Yes, they are in and of the same. Yes.
So item 4 and item 5 are the same.
Just check with Manny that we don't need to vote on it separately, I guess.
Manny, do we need to vote on these separately?
No, if they're all encompassed, and this is my fault, if they're all encompassed in the most recent resolution Catherine put forth, then no, those can be, you would have one vote to adopt that resolution.
And I might chime in here, reference to item number 5, that is separate. That's the
Separate.
assignment. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're specifically addressing right now item 3 and 4.
Yes.
thing 4.
Okay. It's now open to discuss the items 3 and 4, third-party designee, and the resolution for the Building Corp resolution for the Board of Directors to consider certain matters. Those documents have been circulated. Are there any questions concerning those documents?
I didn't have any.
number 3, the third party, does that mean that you can do stuff without us knowing about it?
Well, you're authorizing in the resolutions for us to prepare and file the Form 1024A. And so that's covered in the paragraph that covers the 1024A in the resolutions. So you're authorizing me to file the 1024A application for recognition of exemption under Section 501c4 of the Internal Revenue Code. So as a lawyer and a CPA, I'm not going to do anything that you do not ask me to do.
Okay, I understand that one.
To kind of phrase that a little differently, those are things we know not of what to do, you do. So you
Yes,
do them for us. and
That's a great way to phrase it.
Thank you. That's kind of
And
how
just
I
so
read that.
everybody's aware, I'm going to have Chris, I just sent him, he's going to put that up on the Zoom, just so everybody can look at it at the same time.
So maybe it's just helpful to kind of summarize the resolutions that have been provided. So we've taken the actions to obtain the building corporation's employer identification number, and we have filed Form 8976, Notice of Intent to Operate under Section 501c4. So those actions are being ratified and approved today. We have received acceptance from the IRS of that notice. So those are just some things that needed to happen right away. And then the next step is to file Form 1024A.
Good question. Any other questions concerning the documents? Hearing none, I would like to see a motion to accept and approve the authorization of third party, and that is within the resolution to adopt motion of item 3 and 4 here. I don't have the resolution in front of me. We don't have numbers or anything. So Manny, how should I describe this?
Yeah, here I'm going to try to share it because I tried to send it to Chris and it bounced me back. So again, like I said, the internet is Chris's fault.
This is the
Poor Chris.
The motion that should be made is adoption of resolutions of the Board of Directors of the City of Westfield Building Corporation regarding certain organizational matters. If somebody can say so moved, that would take care of that.
So moved.
Second. Take a voice vote. Ron Moore, aye.
Larry Clarino, aye.
Steve Latour, aye.
Motion carries.
And it should be up now. Can everybody see it?
Yeah, we can see it. If you could zoom in a little bit, that would be helpful.
Yes.
Manny, point of order here, just going forward, should I bring a copy of these resolutions here? Do these have to be notarized?
They don't have to be notarized unless it specifies for some reason.
Okay,
Beyond my understanding, yes, you otherwise it'd probably be a good idea to have somebody printed and ready for the meeting.
okay,
Now, do we have copies of this that we will sign today?
no.
I can send around a copy to be signed electronically if that's okay with Manny.
Yeah, that'd be great. Would you mind doing that?
I will do that.
Or if somebody could print, if Chris can print it, if he's physically there, they could sign it after the meeting today.
Absolutely. And Chris, if you do that, if you could just send me a scanned copy of the signed, and Manny as well.
I've got a copy of the document, I've got a little check mark next to one paragraph. Other than that, we could sign it.
Okay. Yeah, I can scan it at the office in a second when we go back.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
Which one is it?
We'll figure something out. I'll have to go to the clerk's office to get that as closest printer.
This is the latest one. This is the one that we got
Okay.
today.
All right, that's good.
So,
Works. Okay. We'll get that signed after we're done here. Okay. Moving on, that takes care of items 3 and 4. Item 5, adopt a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Building Corporation accepting the assignment of the city's interest in the design builder. Open the floor for any discussion. The documents have been circulated. Any questions or discussion about these documents?
I might add that the Board of Public Works and Safety met this morning at 8 a.m. and unanimously adopted their resolution by which they will assign that contract to the building corporation upon issuance of the bonds. And at the same time, they accepted being appointed as the agent of the building corporation to functionally carry out the that contract and the duties under that.
Okay, and as I understand it, within this document, we're accepting the bid that has been accepted for the design builder, which is Hagerman at this time. Is that correct?
That's correct. You're stepping into the shoes of the city.
Okay, he is, and then we are then assigning our control back to the city to do the day in, day out and continue the build. Is that correct?
Appointing as your agent.
I beg your pardon?
Appointing as your agent.
Yes, appointing as our agent. Thank you. Yes. Okay. That provides clarity for me. Any other questions concerning the document? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second, Larry Colino moves, Ron Moore seconds. Take a voice vote. Ron Moore, aye.
Larry Clarino, aye.
Steve Latour, aye.
Motion carried. Next item up for bid, is there any open discussion or anything that we need to discuss? That moving forward, we would have to bring forward. Any other items?
The next item on your agenda is actually the approval of the assignment of contracts document.
Yeah, number
Number
6.
six.
Oh.
We have a 6 and, yeah. See it right here?
I don't see a six.
Right there.
Yes, it might be on the second. It might be on the second page there.
Okay.
Right there.
All right, thank you. Point of order. Okay, acceptance of the copy of the assignment of the contracts, interest, oh yes, this is interest, lease, and permits, yes.
Licenses and,
Pardon me?
licenses and permits, yeah.
Yeah, licenses and permits. The next item up is to accept the assignment of the assignment of contracts, interest and leases and permits. That document was published. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to accept.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved by Larry Clarino and seconded by Steve Latour. Take a voice vote. Larry?
Larry Clarino, aye.
Steve Latour, aye.
Ron Moore, aye. Motion carries.
Greg, has a decision been made as to when the bonds are going to be sold? Is this still going to try to close this year? Or we're going to slide to January with the potential rate change?
So great question, Jim. We're trying to get a hold of, matter of fact, I'd like to do a phone call with you and Todd, but it's my understanding Todd can't even talk. At least that was the last email we got. So I'm not sure until I
Okay.
talk to him.
So just see if there's any.
Any other comments or discussion that we need to engage in here?
Are we allowed to own or to buy the bonds ourselves?
So, what, Jim, you probably have an answer, and I have an answer as a municipal advisor, but go ahead.
just out of curiosity, so.
So depending on how we move forward, if we get this on a bid basis and we select our underwriter and the underwriter puts it out to the general public, it is my understanding through that process, Jim, they could buy a bond.
Yes, I agree.
So, and this will, so through that competitive process with an open underwriter, once we know who that is, we'd be happy to let you know, and then you'd have to put your order through them.
Okay.
You agree, Jim?
Yes.
Thank you.
I just have a general question.
Okay.
This is Steve. I just have a general question. So when do you anticipate us needing to reconvene as a board again through this process? Just as a general sense of plans.
From my standpoint, from bond documents, everything's been authorized that needs to be authorized, and people have been authorized to execute documents. So what I would do is circulate electronic copies of the signature pages, ask each of you to sign where you need to sign, and email scans back to me. The exception to that is we need original signatures on the bonds.
Now, Jim, we're still waiting on the November 29th expiration of the objection period, correct?
That's correct.
That's still the schedule. Okay.
We passed all the other hurdles, so, 29th is the day. We can go ahead and close anytime after that, or it can slide to January.
Yeah. And that's what we want to talk to the boss about. So, okay, thank you.
I've never seen Todd speechless, though.
I swear that's what his email said. He can't talk, but maybe, I'm not sure if he's got something or not. But,
I mean that lovingly, Todd. If you're listening.
what? Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I just wanted to check to see if we were still on that initial schedule or if you saw any changes going forward. So it sounds like we're still on the initial schedule.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which would mean be circulating documents next week, the signature pages to documents.
We have we identified, we have identified the corporation we're going to work with from the standpoint of bonding, right? I mean,
No, we have not.
we have not.
Because we were, about 2 weeks ago, we were put on hold with the bonds due to certain events happening at the city. And so we just recently were told to go in a certain direction, of which we've got to confirm that direction with Todd and the mayor.
I see.
So at this point in time, we're still on the schedule, very unlikely. Matter of fact, our recommendation probably at this point in time is January. But I do have to talk to Todd and the mayor first.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have none.
Hearing no questions and no more dialogue, I'd like to hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Ron Moore, aye.
Larry Clarino, aye.
Steve Latour, aye.
Meeting adjourned.
So if you want to sign this. and-
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Jim, can you give us a call?